Really quickly before we get in, one of the sets that I talk about as a leak in this video was officially revealed while I was in the middle of editing. Thankfully, none of my thoughts have changed, just expanded since seeing the full images, and I can't wait to talk about it in the comments, future videos, and once I have my hands on it. Please enjoy.
Hello everyone! What a wild week we've had in the world of LEGO collecting, specifically in the world of LEGO Ninjago. It's been kind of a fortuitous week for me. Two things have happened. The first one is Black Friday just wrapped up. That was, last weekend, I think, at the time of recording this? Could have been 2 weekends ago. My concept of time is a little bit everywhere. So I went over to a local used LEGO store, and they had a sale running on some pre-built sets that I have since disassembled. This is Legacy Zane's Titan Mech Battle, which corresponds with the other interesting thing that happened this week, which is that Ninjago Legacy 2, well, I guess Legacy 2026 as we'll call it, was just kind of not necessarily announced because we kind of knew that it was kind of coming, but it was hard launched, I think, is the way that we'll put it. So I thought it would be fun to talk about some of my thoughts on this new wave of Ninjago Legacy sets while also building something from the previous wave. So let's get right into it. I'm just going to dump out all of these pieces and we'll get started from there. Excellent. One of the strange joys and frustrations of building used LEGO is that nothing's in bags anymore. So I'm running my instructions over here off my iPad, and we'll have to just kind of find the pieces as we go, which is going to be tricky. Unfortunately, as well with this set, none of the minifigures came included, so it's just the pieces, but that's okay. We can get those parts on Bricklink later. That will be no issue. So, getting started on this, while we're building, I'm going to talk about some of my thoughts on some of the new Legacy sets that have been announced, and we'll start with the 4 Weapons Blacksmith. This one was announced a little bit ago. I don't remember if it was days or weeks, honestly, at this point, but it's been a little bit since this has been announced, and honestly, I think it's perfect. I'm kind of shocked, because this is, you know, we all had our wish lists for things that we'd want to see in a Ninjago Legacy set, and this is, I feel like, has been top of most fans' wish lists for as long as I can remember. I mean, certainly as long as Ninjago has been around, right? Can't find this one piece I'm looking for. Here we go. There was a version of the 4 Weapons Blacksmith that came out in 2011, as I'm sure you've heard a million people talking about already, and it wasn't very good, was it? I mean, it was cute, it was lovely, it was charming, but it wasn't exactly representative of what it looks like in the show, so this is way better. I mean, the build just looks pretty stinking perfect, right? It's a fully enclosed building, which is super rare, both for Ninjago and also LEGO in general, to be perfectly honest. They're kind of known for doing these like facade-style buildings that look fine. We're kind of used to them at this point, but I mean, let's be honest, they're not exactly mainstays of a collector's display. Gosh darn, where's this piece that I'm looking for? We're off to a rip-rollin' start, aren't we? I'm looking for one of those Technic pins. The friction-full ones, the black ones. Here's one. Excellent. Taking a quick look at the minifigures. Again, some kind of standout looking ones. So, right, we've got Blacksmith Kai, which is crazy. We got one in the Ninjago City Markets, which unfortunately was a set that I did not manage to pick up for Black Friday. That is a whole other topic of conversation. I'm super bummed about that, but, you know, c'est la vie. So, but that's fine, because we have a better one here. We also have Nia in her original outfit, which is kind of crazy to see. I have the original, but the original doesn't have back printing, and this one does. And I believe this one, let me check. Yeah, does the original have leg printing? I don't think it did. I was checking to see if it had toe printing, and it doesn't. But some of the figures in this set do. No, but it has leg printing, it has back printing. She has her old style hair, which is a surprise to me, because I kind of thought that we weren't, like, acknowledging that. You know, there was a while where fans thought that the redesigns were because of this throwaway line.
If someone goes back in time and alters the past, our reality as we know it would change. We could look totally different and not even know it. But we don't!
People thought that it was like a time travel thing because of the Hands of Time, but it seems like that's not the case. And it seems like it truly is just the characters growing up, which is cool. I'm fine with that. So interesting that we're going back to Nia's hair. Doubly interesting, though, that we're not going back to Kai's old hair. Not that I really think that that's feasible. I mean, the old version was that soft rubber, which was a little bit not my favorite. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I never thought that original hair looked especially good anyway. So we're not missing out on a whole lot, I suppose. But I do think that they could have given him Ray's hair, just in a brown. And speaking of Ray, we get Ray and Maya in their Serpentine War outfits, which is super wild. I missed out on getting the original Ray and Maya minifigures from Hands of Time, and I for sure never thought that I was going to get another chance at them. I thought I was just going to have to find them on the aftermarket somewhere. But no, here they are, and they look kind of better than ever. Ray has his dual molded face. Maya does not, but that's fine. She looks fine as is. I know some people have brought up that they wish she'd gotten a more custom face print. I believe this one is just one that showed up in Lego City, so that's a bit of a bummer, but I think that, you know, I think it's fine. Why is this so hard to find these pieces? Can't wait to watch this back, and it's just like the pieces slowly scattering over. Oh, it's because it's a round piece. That's okay. Ray unfortunately does not have his arm printing from the show, which is a bit of a bummer, but I understand budgetary constraints, etc., etc. You know, it's things that the designers have to take into consideration as much as it bums us out. I do think, and I have a conspiracy theory about this, maybe not a conspiracy theory, but if you've been keeping up with the world outside of the plastic bricks that we all know and love, they are releasing a set of comic books right about now, or coming up soon. I need to check on that. But they're releasing a set of comics about the Serpentine Wars, and I think it's going to feature the original masters of their respective elements. And so I kind of feel like, I don't know which came first, if these sets came first, or if that comic book push came first. But I think either way, I think they're designed to kind of come together. Because why else would we be getting Serpentine Wars, Ray and Maya? I mean, we could get a Samukai in this. We could have instead, you know, who knows. You know, in hindsight, I probably should have separated these by color. It is tricky to find. I know everything's here because I disassembled the set. There it is. It was buried. I'm just rounding off the minifigure selection. There are two others that are important to talk about in this. There's Sensei Wu, who gets kind of a remake of his original pilot suit. I think this looks great. I think that pilot suit was kind of famously simple. You know, there are a lot of characters in the show that refer to the ninja as pajama men, but nobody really embodies pajama men quite as much as Wu does. And I'll be honest, this does a lot to fix that. For example, he now has toe printing. He wears sandals. That does a lot to make it look like he's not wearing a onesie, to be perfectly honest. And then the last minifigure to talk about is the Elemental Master of Earth. This is the one that we saw in all the Serpentine War flashbacks from the show, and presumably must be Cole's grandfather, right? Because Lily was his mom, she was the previous Elemental Master of Earth, and now it's Cole, so it must have been before Lily, and it must have been Cole's grandfather. He looks great. I'm really excited to get that one in hand. I've heard rumor that he is entirely molded out of pearl silver, which is kind of crazy. I don't know. I guess any titanium Zanes that we've gotten would have been made out of entirely pearl silver, but kind of gives me hope that there might someday be a legacy or a remake of Karloff, the Master of Metal, in his big metal form. I think that would be really cool. Opening up the build, there's not a whole lot that I can say until I've actually got the whole thing in hand, so I'm really looking forward to buying this and reviewing this. This comes out January 1st, by the way. Pre-orders are already up, so I am for sure going to be pre-ordering this, and I will be opening it as soon as I possibly can. So, but just looking at the set pictures, it looks like on the left side we've got this little living area, on the right side we've got a forge, and then up top in the attic I can see a high ZX hood and a Samurai X helmet as well. I'll hold off talking about both of those because they're going to become relevant again in just a few minutes when we actually see the whole minifigures, but it's cool that they're both up there. And I'm seeing on the box too, it says collect all 7 of these Elemental Masters, and I believe only 3 total have been confirmed. We'll talk about them more as we get to them, but that means that there's another 4 out there that we don't know what they are. That's cool. That's cool. A couple of my favorite details that I didn't even notice, the blue phone on the wall, that's from the show, which is so funny to me because I remember when I was watching it as a child, the very first season, I always assumed that the whole show took place in like a feudal Japan. And so then when they made the shift to New Ninjago City and kind of this newer high-tech world, I was a little bit shocked that they'd progressed that much in time. But knowing that there was a phone even as early back as the pilots, that makes sense. This is cool. This is a little ingot piece in tan. I don't think I've ever seen this piece in tan. I've only ever seen it in gold before, or silver. There's also a couple of really cool Easter eggs in here. If you knock down the sign, the map for the weapons of Spinjitzu falls down, and that's a really cool Easter egg. It makes a whole lot of sense. There's also up on the wall, you can see this weapon, which is kind of funky looking until you look back at some of the sets that came out around the same time and you realize that that's the weapon that Kai had in his Spinjitzu spinner that came out in 2011. And that is honestly just like an Easter egg for the ages. Nia as well comes with these two daggers. These were the weapons from her Spinjitzu spinner as well. You can see them on the card too. There's also this sign on the side of the building that says no walking. This is a fun reference to Lloyd and Pythar's misadventures near the Blacksmith, I guess, of all places. All in all, this is just so clearly a set that's designed for, like, I want to say collectors, yes, but also just, like, old-time fans of the show. People have been wanting a 4-weapons Blacksmith since 2011 when they first saw it on the show, and I've been wanting a really proper one. I mean, this is probably one of the most iconic locations in the show. What are some other ones? The Monastery Spinjitzu? We got that. The Samurai X Cave? We got that, too. Although put a pin in some of those ideas, because I do want to touch on them in a minute. Oh, I fully skipped a step. Okay, going back in time. What happens when I stream too is I miss steps and then I have to go back and do it. I promise I'm a good Lego builder. I mean, look at my collection. I sure hope so. I've been doing it all my life. And by the way, if you're not, get subscribed so you can check out some of my live streams as they happen. I would love to chat about all the new Ninjago sets that are coming out. Get your thoughts and opinions. They were these. All along they were these. I'm just a silly Billy. Just taking a look too at age bracket and price. This is a 14 plus set and it retails for $100 and comes out on January 1st, 2026. 14 plus, I'm trying to think how many other 14 plus sets there have been. The only ones that really come to mind are like the Ninjago Legends sets, the Fire Knight Mech and the Guardian Dragon, as well as the Dragonstone Shrine too. There we go. We now have majority of a mech body, or some approximation of one. We're getting there. On to bag number 2. And we're on to the second set that I want to talk about. The second set to be revealed. I'm kind of going chronologically, or at least the way that I saw them, as soon as I find this plate that I'm looking for. And that is Lloyd's Titan Mech Legacy. This one just got revealed the other day. Now, it ships on March 1st, not January 1st, which is interesting. I don't know why they revealed this one so quickly. And frankly, I'm going to be honest, I don't like this one, which is really a bummer because I really wanted to. I never got to own Lloyd's Titan Mech, the original. I'm probably going to at some point. I've told myself that the only Ninjago mechs that I'm really going to go out of my way to collect are going to be the Titan mechs, hence why we're here. So I'm going to end up owning the original Lloyd's Titan Mech at some point, I'm sure. But now they have a remake. This is the first Titan Mech remake that we've made, and I don't think it looks very good. Where the hecky darn is this next piece? Or, okay, I guess let me revise. Because Legacy sets, and this is true of both the first Legacy and now these ones, it seems to also be true, fall into 2 categories. And those are ones that there was a set of it and it wasn't very accurate to what we saw on the TV show. So they've attempted to do a better job of that. And then there's ones where the TV show version existed as it was and the set looked just like that, but maybe there's kind of, you know, an improvement that they want to do. In this case, I know one of the big complaints of the original Lloyd's Titan Mech is that the posability was not great. It didn't have knees, is kind of the joke that everybody makes. And so with the advancement in Titan Mech technology that has come about over the last couple of years with like, frankly, Zane's Titan Mech, Cole's Titan Mech, Cole's Titan Dragon Mech actually as it's called, Jay's Titan Mech, even the Fire Knight Mech, which is not technically a Titan Mech, but I'm kind of considering it Kai's Titan Mech until we get a new official Kai's Titan Mech. I think that the designers just thought that they could do better. And so they've recreated Lloyd's Titan Mech. This is Lloyd's Titan Mech 15th anniversary. And unfortunately, yeah, it falls into that category with those specific specifications, with that specific design idea in mind of wanting to improve on something in a way that isn't necessarily representative of the show. And, you know, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but I'm a show purist. I collect my minifigures to match the show. I collect sets that I feel are relevant in the show. The show is the thing that got me into it, and I acknowledge that it is a TV show that is designed to sell toys, and always has been. But in my mind, as much as it is that, it is also a set of toys that are designed to represent a TV show. And so when the sets themselves don't represent the TV show very well, I get upset. And this is an example of that. I mean, the set was designed to look exactly as it does in the show. And, posability be damned. But, it looks accurate, the original. This one, not so much. It has a couple different things that it can do. It does have my main quibble here is the back wings. I mean, those giant translucent green wing pieces were kind of iconic. When you look at it, they're the first thing you see. And here, they're not translucent. They've sacrificed them with kind of the intention of functionality. And so let's talk about what it can do. Obviously, it is a big Titan mech. Obviously, it has a bunch of posability, which is great. It can be positioned however you want. Wonderful. Gundam fans, you're going to love this. Searching for 2 1x1 bricks. The back wings on this, like I said, they do exist. They're designed to be multi-purpose, which, could be cool. They come off, and then they could attach to the mech's hands, and so he can have a giant shield in one hand. You could take the 2 pieces off the back, slide them together like this, or actually, do I have pieces where I can represent this? Yes, basically. So if the 2 wings are both coming out of the back like this, they can come forward, and together they can make one big shield, just like this. And most of the promotional art, it's being displayed with it in shield form, which is just not... I mean, it never did that in the show. I mean, look at me. It never did that in the show. Like, yeah, okay, whatever. Get over yourself, me. But I just feel like the wings are what you see when you look at it. The wings are the most recognizable visual element of the set. And so to sacrifice them to make it do something else, that is, I guess, equally cool. I'm really trying to be nice. I think it looks just ugly. I think that the head looks okay. I think that the body looks great. I think that the legs, the thinness of the ankles kind of suggests that it's more agile, more dexterous, more nimble than some of the other Titan mechs. So that's cool. I think that is something that really sets it apart from something like, say, Cole's Titan Dragon mech. The big shoulder pads look really neat, but I simply cannot get past the wings being the shield, and that being, like, very clearly the way that they want to present it. Anyway, in terms of minifigures, there are 3 in it. There is Lloyd in his ZX suit, which seems to be the only Legacy suits that they're making, at least at the moment. Maybe we'll see some pop up in the next wave. If there is a next wave. I think there will be. So it's Lloyd in his ZX suit. Then we get Grimfax, who is a minifigure we've never gotten before. And he kind of feels like a character that was designed to have gotten a minifigure at one point. So it was very strange when we didn't get him in the original Secrets of the Forbidden Spinjitzu season. Great that we're getting him now. Not necessarily a character that I feel like, oh, we have a second chance to make a minifigure. What should we do? I don't know that Grimfax was the one that I would have picked. I've seen in some of the interviews with the designers, people have repeatedly asked them about if they ever considered having Akita be the other minifigure in this set, and it seems like yes, it was of course a consideration, but that mold would have had to been remade. In this case, the mold didn't have to be remade because it was used in some of the prototypes Again, I'm pulling this from a designer interview, so full credit, please go watch that. But it seems like one of the prototypes for a crystallized build included this helmet recolored in another color. So for that reason, the mold still exists. Because if you didn't know, they destroy their molds after 5 years of a piece not being in a set. They just destroy the mold entirely. So if a piece has been out of commission for too long, it simply they have to recreate it from scratch, and that becomes very costly. Something that I don't understand, and maybe somebody could explain it to me in the comments. I'm sure that they have digital, like 3D models of their molds in their like digital archives at some point. So like, yes, they have to remake the mold, but it doesn't. People always talk about it as if it's like a creative thing that they have to like redesign it from scratch, and it feels like surely they should just be able to like pull up that file and just like remake the mold, right? I mean, I get the budgetary constraints are a thing, but it's not like a creative challenge. Well, is this other piece? It's a big piece. It should not be hard to find. Oh. Well, it'd help if I was getting the right pieces. One of the nice things about building a used set like this that I bought pre-built and then I disassembled is that I probably shouldn't have any extra pieces in the end of it, which is nice. It means that if I don't have a piece, I'm in trouble. But if I have extra pieces left over, no, I'm still in trouble. And the third minifigure that we get is Hibernus. This is the elemental master of ice before Zane. Really cool that we're getting this figure. Kind of a simple design, but I'm okay with that. For anyone who doesn't remember, he was wandering in the woods quite frankly, I guess he knew he was about to die. He was wandering in the woods and he came across Dr. Julian, who was hanging out with his young Zane, training him effectively on how to chop wood, I believe. And Hibernus talked to Zane and decided that he was a kind soul and worthy of the power of ice, and so bestowed upon him his power as he was dying. Which, yeah, in hindsight is kind of a little dark, but also very sweet. And that's how Zane got the power of ice. So very cool to get Hibernus in this set. Like I was talking about before, I think that they're doing a tie-in between the Serpentine War comics and the 50th anniversary. I think that is all designed to kind of coincide together. So I bet the Elemental Masters that are featured in Legacy as the anniversary figures, I bet that they're going to get a lot to do in that Serpentine War comic, because I think that they want to tie it all together. You know, a lot of these collector things are very much adult-oriented. I'm not adult-oriented, you know what I mean. Like they're designed for collectors. That's how Star Wars was. That's how this is as well. And they need to make it exciting for kids as well. They need to make the kids care about it. Like if you're a kid and you've never watched the show, the old show, if you only tuned in with Dragons Rising, what do you care about who these characters are? So I think that they need to make cross-platform synergy, or whatever corporate speak LEGO needs to justify their business decisions. Because unfortunately, as much as we don't like to acknowledge it, they are first and foremost a business. Second and second most, they make cool things for cool people like you and me. Look at that. Look at that beefy chest plate right there. That looks great. In terms of price for this set, let's see. It's, again, 14 plus. Okay, so cool. 14 plus, and price is $130. That's for 1,293 pieces. So that's about 1,300 pieces for about $130. That's in terms of price per piece count, which of course is not the end-all be-all of the, value. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's about 10 cents per piece. Looking back at the 4 weapons blacksmith, oh wow. That's 1,259 parts for $100. That's a dang good price per piece ratio. Wow. I mean, sure, it makes sense that this mech would cost more money. It has more large parts, but that just makes the other one look even better by comparison. I don't know if I'm going to get this one. I feel like I should, because if I'm collecting the Titan mechs, I'm collecting the Titan mechs. And if I'm collecting all the Legacy things, I'm collecting all the Legacy things. And I'm going to need to get that Hibernus figure. That's sure. So I guess I probably will, but I'll probably wait for a sale. Oh, and something that I forgot to mention, look at this. That's Lloyd's old symbol. Like from the Masters of Spinjitzu show. That's his old dragon. And this one on the other side is his Ninjago symbol that they've used more recently than that. Interesting. I wonder if they're going to bring back those old symbols. I kind of hope they do. I kind of feel like that dragon was iconic. And, you know, Kai had the lion, and Zane had the wolf, and Jay had an octopus, and Cole had... I don't know, some kind of boulder creature. I don't know what it was. But if they bring those back, that's huge. We're now, by the way, we're on to bag 3, which is the leg. Which means that we're also on to topic number 3, which is the Ninja Character Display 15th Anniversary. And y'all, this is the big one. This is the one that I've been waiting to talk about. This is the one that I just, it's so good. It's so good. So, first off, let's hit the big topic of conversation. We're getting all of the ZX suits remade. That's huge. Yo, that's huge. I never ever thought that we were going to get these suits acknowledged again. When they made Legacy the first time around and they made the Legacy suits, I think that's just what they were called. They were kind of used everywhere, all across the line. So they were basically, the fact that they showed up in the Monastery Spinjitzu, the fact that they showed up in the Ultrasonic Raider, I just thought that those were basically our ZX suits. I didn't think that we were ever really gonna address them again. So the fact that we're getting remakes of them in the year of our Lord 2026 is nuts. I'm very, very excited for that, of course. Not all of them are created equally though, and I think that that's such a strange decision. One that kind of reeks to me of a budgetary issue. So, for example, Kai's looks perfect. He's got the gold armor, he's got the gold headpiece. He looks pretty perfect. Zane as well, pretty much perfect. Gold armor, gold headpiece. And of course, what everyone's talking about, the fact that both Jay and Cole have gold on their outfits instead of silver. To be fair, Lloyd also has gold instead of his gunmetal gray that he had on his original figure, but with the amount of times that he's gotten golden power, I don't really think anybody's super duper complaining about that one. I think that it looks fine. It is funny how many times the show has retconned what he looked like in those early seasons. So I'll be curious to see if the show has any flashbacks to this era and he's wearing this outfit with gold in it, given that the last time that the show showed him when he was training with Master Wu as a child, he was wearing the Legacy outfit. I mean, whatever. Who really cares? You get the point. I mean, I care. It's fine. It's fine. So, okay, so all 4 ninja get their ZX suits. Great. That's awesome. Sensei Wu. We get a remake of his 2011 suit as well. This is the same one that we saw in the 4 Weapons Blacksmith, but I think that that's totally acceptable. I mean, he pretty much wore the same outfit anyway. And honestly, when Wu got new outfits in the show, or in the sets, it always felt a little bit pointless. Like, hey guys, why are we doing this? You know what I mean? Like, he's Sensei Wu. No one's collecting him. No one's like, oh man, I can't wait for the new Wu suit to come out. Like, it felt pointless. Ooh, that's cool. We're sliding some ball joints into ball hinges in there. So this rotates back and forth. That's very cool. I don't know what that's for, but that's cool. Oh, and they want us to have it be up. And then kind of the big shocker of this set is that we get Nia in a Samurai X suit. I can't say that I'm surprised. I think that it was kind of inevitable that we got one for some sort of legacy something. But I'm surprised that it came in this set. We already have all of the other ninja in their ZX suits, plus Wu, plus now Nia as well. That's what, 1, 2, 3, that's 6 plus 7, that's 7 minifigures all in one set. Oh, and this one also comes with a 15th anniversary figure as well. So this comes with Jay's mother, the previous Master of Lightning. So that makes 8 minifigures in this set, which is, I mean, when's the last time we got 8 minifigures in a set? In a LEGO set in general? I mean, that's not like, a one-off thing. Like, the Stranger Things house or whatnot. 8 minifigures is nuts. Especially for the price of this set, which is $45. $45 for 8 minifigures. I mean, that's what? Less than $5 a minifigure? If there were no parts involved, if there was no build, that would be less than $5 a minifigure. Like, that's less than CMF value. And these are all, crazy specific remakes of characters from a 2011 TV show. Like, what world do we live in? I mean, a world where I'm very happy, I'll tell you that. And speaking of the build, it has a great one. It has a pretty excellent one, actually. There's a lot of things that I really like that call back to the original wave. If you look at the original Monastery Spinjitzu, it has this kind of black arch up with these red cheese slopes on it. I always felt like that was very evocative of that early feel of Ninjago. Like, that to me is what the original pilots, the original season of Ninjago felt like. It was that kind of Asian-inspired architecture. They've kind of moved away from that a little bit. I mean, we saw it in some sets. You know, we saw a bigger version of it in the Legacy Monastery of Spinjitzu. So that was something, but it's not really prevalent. I mean, you know, as the ninja have gone on kind of their adventures and done new things and go to new lands, the architecture is bound to be different, but it's something that we've strayed away from, and it kind of makes me wish that we would do a season, you know, maybe once Dragon's Rising is done, maybe we just do kind of a classic season. Maybe, you know, something shows up in Ninjago proper, in Jamonikai Village, you know what I mean? We do something that feels a little bit more, less Ninjago City-esque and more Ninjago Countryside-esque. I don't know. Ninjago Countryside when? Ninjago Countryside Gardens, Ninjago Countryside Markets. Monastery doors as well, those remind me a lot of the Legacy Monastery of Spinjitzu. I mean, clearly this is a new monastery, right? Like, this is meant to be the Monastery of Spinjitzu, so we have two different versions to kind of go back and compare to. And the doors feel to me more like the Legacy version than the original one, although it doesn't look like they close all the way, so that feels very in the original spirit. Oh, I've got some stickered elements, and I don't have the stickers for them. It says here I'm supposed to have a sticker. I don't have stickers. Oh well, that's fine. I mean, saves me a headache, right? Last couple things that I'll talk about on the build are the base, which I think looks really cool. It feels very adult. Feels very like Dragonstone Shrine-esque, which I appreciate when they do that. I mean, not that, you know, it's Ninjago, it's for kids. I don't necessarily expect there to be a whole lot of things for adults, but it feels a little bit more grounded. It feels a little bit more, I don't know, decorative. It feels fancier. It feels a little bit more complicated, which, you know, for an older fan of the show, and there are older fans of the show. I mean, I'm right here. You know, so it feels good to be appreciated, and it feels good to kind of feel seen in that way. I'm glad that they have at least one or two sets, it seems, every year, every wave, that's designed for older fans these days, and that is new, and that feels good. I really appreciate that. And this is one of them. I mean, I guess all of the Legacy sets are, so this one's also 14 plus, just looking at the age bracket, as were the other two Legacy sets. 447 pieces for $45, that's just about perfect. I mean, you know, again, we don't really talk about parts per price per piece because it's rarely ever fair. You know, you oftentimes there are bigger elements, there are bigger pieces in a set that drive up the price. There's also, you know, there's in Marvel and Star Wars especially, there's the Disney tax, and you know, it's generally just considered not fair. You will routinely be disappointed, and that's why we don't look at price per piece. But when price per piece works out, when price per piece looks good, I mean, 447, that's basically 450 for $45. That's 10 cents per piece. That's perfect. I'm just noticing, by the way, that I have these little astromech droid bodies. Specifically, I believe this is the chopper body. And I also have the chopper head here as well. So I can make just kind of two, I guess one half, because mine is two legs, one half of a little light bluish gray chopper. That's I wonder if anyone's done that. I wonder if anyone's ever made like a unprinted R2D2 specifically, or an unprinted chopper, an unprinted astromech droid. The other cool thing about the base of this set as well that I neglected to talk about is that if you look over on one side of it, it has the two Technic pins, which are intended to connect to all of the 15th anniversary minifigure displays, which is really awesome. So that means that, you know, once you have all of them, hypothetically, you know, if someone were to have all of them, it's going to be me. I'm going to probably get all of them. You can connect all of them side to side and then create one massive 15th anniversary. I mean, it calls Ninja Character Display 15th Anniversary, and you can display all of the characters on it. That's really cool. I mean, that really speaks to, like, that's something that they didn't have to include. And obviously, yeah, I get that they're trying to get you to buy all the sets and everything, but this really incentivizes not only you to buy all the sets, but you to also put them together and make it feel like a curated thing, as opposed to just, you know, something that I wasn't as much a fan of with the 10th anniversary figures is that the stands are just free floating. There's no way to, you know, I ended up putting little 1x2 plates on the backs of all of the on the backs of all those minifigure stands so that they could connect, so that I could have one thing on the top of my bookshelf. And that looks cool. That looks great. I'm glad that I did that. Because if I didn't, they were just free floating, and that was a little bit awkward. So in this, we don't run into that issue. They all just connect, and that means I'm going to have to clear up some new display space on my display shelves. That's basically going to be just Ninjago Legacy. Just Legacy 2. Oh, my back is starting to hurt. Oh, I never get old, kids. I mean, do get old. It's better than the alternative, but oh boy, howdy. It makes building Lego a lot less comfortable. Uh-oh, here's a big thing where I'm missing stickers. There's supposed to be a big symbol that goes on this hood piece, and I do not have the sticker. So we're just going to place it right on, and I'm going to have to go on Bricklink or something and find that sticker. That's kind of a bummer. But that's the risk that we run buying pre-built sets. I do really like how tiled off this set is. I mean, really, on all the sides, I haven't finished this side yet, but on both of these sides, that's all smooth. It looks great. Oh, so this is how we connect these. So these ball joints go in here. Great. And then we build a little connector piece for our other ball joints. That's going to be very cool. Man, they even tiled off the bit that's going underneath the back of his knee. It's tiled off on both sides. For literally the back of the knee. These pop in like that. This side pops in like that. And these pop in like that. And there. That's our smooth knee action. That's relying on these ball joints. That's so slick. It really feels like a mechanical. There's ball joints in here. There's ball joints here. And there's ball joints here. 3 sets of ball joints to create this really like friction-full knee joint that feels very mechanical. Feels very robotic. I really like that. So, all in all, am I going to buy for $45 the Ninja character display 15th anniversary? Day one. Day one. I'm on site. January 1st, 2026. It's this one. The 4 Weapons Blacksmith 2. This one. Oh boy. This one. And if you're thinking, gee, Brickstorian, should I get this set? Yes. The answer is yes. Give Corporation your money. Just do it. Oh, hello, tiny visitor. Have you come to help me root out pieces? There we go. Now we have a leg, we have a knee, and we have a foot. We have the one-legged, knee-footed Titan Mech. Can I have him balanced back there like that? Yeah, kinda. So now, we get to work on the second leg. And as we talk about this, we get to talk about the next big kind of legacy announcement. And this one has been kind of quiet. I only saw this yesterday as of the time of recording. And that is that there are some Ninjago anniversary figure parts that are coming to build a minifigure at LEGO stores, which is crazy. I mean, maybe crazy is a strong word, because I know that there were a bunch of Ninjago parts that were accessible on Build a Minifigure in the past. I think there was a casual version of Aaron and a casual version of Sora that were both available, as well as some others that I'm probably forgetting. But for something so, niche as Ninjago's 15th anniversary, for those parts to be available widely as Build a Minifigure parts, I mean, that's just very exciting. I mean, that's kind of a win for everyone, right? So let's take a look at what some of the figures are and some of the parts that are going to be available. Going down the line from right to left, we have young Lloyd ZX. This one's not too exciting because it's basically just the parts from the Lloyd ZX that we already looked at. The one that was in the Titan Mech and also was in the character display. It's the same parts for that Lloyd ZX, just with green mini legs, which is fine. I actually personally don't have any green mini legs, but I do have an extra original Lloyd ZX minifigure. So what I might do is get the green mini legs for this, put them on the old Lloyd ZX, and then I get like Child Lloyd in the original style, not the Legacy style. Your mileage may vary on this one. It's kind of the least exciting, in my honest opinion. A close second is young Sora. Although, to be honest, there's some things. It's a generic city head, which whatever. She's got a wrench, whatever. The hair we've already gotten before. But this is the first time that we're getting that Imperium Citizen outfit in anything. And the fact that it's coming in Build a Minifigure means that you could build a bunch of these. You could just buy a bunch of this Imperium Citizen torso and make yourself a whole, I mean, I wouldn't build an army of them, but you could build yourself a whole city out of Imperium citizens. You could build Ninjago City Imperium. So, you know, as unenthused as I was, I guess if there was going to be a place for this young Sora and this Imperium Citizen outfit to show up, Build a Minifigure wall was the right spot. Next up, we have young Aaron. Aaron is a child, and Aaron as a child has medium legs, which I wasn't expecting. Implies that he as a child was taller than both Sora and Lloyd when they were children, which is just a funny distinction to me, but I guess works. Why not? Next up, going down the line, is honestly the most exciting one to me, and that is Nia in her blue kimono outfit. This is an outfit that she wore during, I believe it was March of the Oni, right at the very beginning, right before Jay got down on one knee and asked her to be his Yang. And this is an outfit that fans have been wanting, specifically in, like, you know, if you're somebody who really likes casual outfits, if you're somebody who likes kind of having a completionist collection of outfits that are worn on screen. This has been wanted for a long time. I think it's also wanted for customs, which is perfect. It's on Build a Minifigure wall. That's excellent. The only weird thing to me about this is that they gave Nia her old hairpiece, the one from pre-redesign, where actually when she wore this outfit in the show, it was post-redesign, and she had her hair up in that little bun. And so I do wonder why they put this one out there. Maybe it's just to get that part circulated and they kind of assume that you have a Nia minifigure. But that is with the new hairpiece, but that is a bold assumption. And I would rather them have done the other one. That being said, it's not that bold of assumption. I feel like I'm blind when I'm just like tapping my way through these, trying to I'm not trying to feel it. I'm trying to shake them all up to try to make the pieces jump out at me, you know? Then again, this is just a tension pin that I'm looking for, so I might just use one from my own collection. But let the record show that I couldn't find this. So anyway, it's very cool that we're getting that Nia figure in that blue kimono. I'm really looking forward to having that to complement some of my Legacy 1 / March of the Oni minifigures. Next up, going down the line, is Dareth, Sensei Dareth. It has been a minute since we've gotten Dareth in this outfit, and in fact, I don't have one at all. The last time we got Dareth, let's see, so we got him in Ninjago City Markets, but he was dressed in his bartender outfit, so that counts, but doesn't count. Then before that, I was recently told that he appeared in the Temple of Air Jitsu, again, a set that I do not have. Before that, he was in a poly bag, and that is the only version that we've ever gotten of him with printed legs, which this version also does not have, so that's a bit of a bummer, but, you know, we'll survive. So that's the version that I've always been kind of gunning to get, but now that I can get this one on Pick-a-Brick Wall, then I don't have to, well, I mean, I still will, just for completion, but now there's an easier way if you don't have any Dareth, to get some Dareth, and let's be honest, some Dareth is better than none. And, you know, between him showing up in the markets and showing up in this, I mean, I think that he hasn't shown up yet in Dragon's Rising. We don't know where he is post the merge. And I think that they're gearing up to bring him back in some way, some big way. Because he keeps showing up in things. Obviously, he's a fan favorite character, so he must show up at some point, and they wouldn't keep teasing him. Like we haven't seen any Misako minifigures show up recently. We haven't seen any Skylar minifigures show up, so clearly they're not, you know, those characters aren't going to show up in the show anytime soon. Or maybe they are. And this is all a big misdirection. But no, I'm pretty confident that Dareth is going to show up at some point pretty soon. They for sure would not kill off Dareth in the merge. Could you imagine? Flash forward to like 5 years from now when there's YouTube video essays being like, why did they kill off Dareth in the merge? Next up, going down the line, we have Pixel. And this is a Pixel that we've not seen before. I mean, this is an outfit that she's never had on screen. But I've seen two different interpretations of this. I've seen people interpret this as a casual Pixel. That's not really how I see it. I see it as basically a legacy Pixel. In the same way that, you know, we kind of got minifigures that were designed to be their legacy versions of their rebooted outfits. I kind of feel like this is designed to be a legacy version of rebooted Pixel. She's got the original hair. She's got her original color scheme with the purple and the red. She's more covered up this time, which if you've never like gone through and looked at what Pixel's outfit was, I mean, if she were real, which obviously she's not, but if she were a person, she would be very exposed in that outfit. So good thing that she is just a robot.
So whether or not it's a casual Pixel or it's more of a legacy Pixel, it's a Pixel that we've never gotten before, and that's exciting. She's kind of an underutilized character, and I'd love to see more of her outside of her like Samurai X persona. She has more facets to her personality, and I would like to see those. Side note, this one made my wife very happy. She's a big Pixel fan. She's a big Zane fan, and when Pixel's around, Zane is happy, and so she's a big Pixel fan. I think she's a big Pixel fan on her own as well. Incidentally, I'm not a huge fan of the way that these chopper heads are on here, like they're big joints. I actually think it looks pretty clumsy. They stick out way to the sides, and they have this giant leaf piece going down the middle. I'm not a huge fan of that. And last but certainly not least on the Build a Minifigure station is Oni Mistake, which is just a kind of a crazy minifigure to be getting, given that we've never even really had a regular Mistake. Like, not officially. I mean, I know we had one that came with a Ninjago City, I think it was. Well, either way, it was one of the Ninjago movie sets, and she was called Mistake, but I mean, she wasn't the Mistake from the show. So getting Oni Mistake is kind of crazy. She has the Black Panther cat ears to be her little horns. She's got what I think is Legacy Garmadon's torso, or it could just be a reprint of a Garmadon torso. She's got plain black legs, but that's fine. She's great. I have no idea what the thought process was there, why they decided to, after all these years, make a make an Oni Mistake. But you know what I do wonder is, everyone's been calling this Oni Mistake. I'm gonna have to go back and watch the show and find out what it is that sets Oni Mistake apart from the other Oni, because I do wonder if you could use this to like army build more Oni. Famously, we only got a couple. We got 3 that came in a blister pack way back in season 10. And people have always wanted more, I'm sure. So I wonder if you could use the parts from this minifigure to make more. I mean, you know, you think about why these figures, right? Why these figures and why in this medium? Why on the Build a Minifigure wall? I think that for a lot of them, it's because they want you to be able to build a bunch of them. Although I guess, I don't know how many Dareths one person would need. But that part is pretty reusable. So why might you be reusing Oni Mistake's parts? Pretty cool if you ask me. Alright, leg number 2. It's going in like this. And there we go. And this piece goes in this ball joint like that. And nope, that rotated too much. Like that. There we go. We have our leg again. So we pop this foot in here, like that. Move this back. Oop, that we pop this in, and we have 2 legs. There he stands. Oh, he's pretty sturdy too. So basically, will I be buying these Build a Minifigures? Yes. I don't know, when do they come out? January 1st. Okay, and it's $10 for 3 of them, so a little over $3 each. Okay, cool. So priorities for me are going to be probably Pixel, Dareth, and Nia, closely followed by Mistake, Sora, and Lloyd. Maybe just have a second. Oh, I'm already going to have 2 of that. Well, yeah, but I want to get those legs. I don't really feel the need for Aaron, but I might if I'm just like around and I want to get a minifigure like that. I might get Aaron, but he is not, like, none of his parts really are like jumping out at me. Ooh, this is cool. We're giving this the mech these little skirt pieces, basically. That's kind of fun. I like that. I think I've actually put it on backwards.
There is also, and this one's kind of fun, there is this. There is the car poly bag that was revealed, and this one's fun. This is just a remake of the old Cole's car, I think it was called, or actually, what was it called? And this one's not much of anything, but it is a very cute build, and I'm glad that they're making it. And I'm glad that they're prioritizing a version of the ninja in their full armored getup. Cole has his full armor in a polybag, because that's not always something that you see. I'm thinking back to some previous polybags that just had... Like, Ninjago's kind of famous for having a bunch of different versions of ninja suits out there. Specifically, the ones that you get in cheaper sets usually have the cheaper versions of the figures, and that's just kind of always a bummer to see. So it's good that they're not doing that, and I'll probably get this one. You know what, I might even get this one and I might leave it sealed, because I'm gonna have the ninja from other sets, and it'll be fun to just have this one sitting around, just hung up on a wall like I have with some of my Star Wars poly bags. I think that'll be fun. That'll be fun. Oh, these two pieces are stuck together. Well, that's what we have our trusty old pile of brick separators for. Pulling pieces apart. You know that if you have two plates like this that are fully like wedged together, there's a little trick you can use. I'll move Perry the brick separator. A little trick, you can use two brick separators just like this, and you can use them as force against each other to pry open the pieces. If, you know, you have just a bunch of brick separators lying around. Can be handy. And last but not least, we have one that hasn't officially been revealed yet, but we have seen some leaks come out about this set. I'm not going to post pictures of the leaks, I don't think, but you can easily find them. It's not difficult. And that is the Old Town set. So if you look up Ninjago Old Town, I mean, heck, by the time that this video comes out, it might even have been officially revealed. But as of the time of recording, some leaks just came out yesterday about this set, and it looks very, very cool. It's basically, I'll try to describe it to you. I've seen some people saying that it's supposed to be a version of Jamanakai Village. I'm a little bit skeptical about that, just because I don't think it really looks like Jamanakai Village, but it certainly is an old town. It actually, in terms of shape, weirdly looks a lot like the Monastery of Spinjitzu, like the Legacy one, and that's fine. It's got kind of a walled-in garden, and it kind of has like a front gate, and then like two side panels, and one here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a hexagon. It's kind of hexagonal. In terms of minifigures, though, I think that's kind of where it's going to stand out. We have yet to see about the build. We'll see about the, you know, play features, what's actually being represented. But the minifigures, we can kind of get a sense at. We can see that there's a version of Jay who comes with his gliders, the same gliders that he had when Wu first met him, which we see in the original episodes, and I believe the pilot, and then we also see again during the Wild Brain era. I forget when exactly, but there are flashbacks to when Wu met all the ninja. In terms of reused minifigures, though, I'm seeing Zane looks like he's in his ZX outfit. Kai and Nia, Kai's in his ZX outfit. Nia looks like she's in her same outfit, remade from the pilots, like that one that she's got in the 4 Weapons Blacksmith. Cole, I believe, is also in a ZX outfit, but both Cole and Kai don't have their hood pieces on, I think. Like I said, this leak is very blurry. So hopefully by the time this video comes out, you guys are able to see a better version of it, and I look forward to seeing the full reveal, because that's going to be awesome. In terms of like standout features, though, there's so many. Okay, so starting from the left, I'm seeing what looks like Dr. Julian holding Zane's Falcon, which is insane. That we've been wanting a Dr. Julian figure since he debuted on the show in 2013, and just nothing, and a lot of people thought maybe we'd get him as one of the anniversary figures, until they released that they were doing the former Elemental Masters. But great that we get him in Legacy as well. It looks like I'm seeing a young Acronix and Crux, which is crazy, and I think their hands, like their actual minifigure hands, are the colors of their powers, which would be an interesting way. Oh, well, I was going to say an interesting way of doing the Time Blades, but I guess if this is like Serpentine War era of these minifigures, they would still have their powers, because it's before Wu and Garmadon and the Elemental Alliance got together and stripped them of their powers and put them into the Chrono Steel. Gosh, sometimes talking about the lore for this show is absolutely insane, but I think that that's what draws a lot of us to it. So that would make sense that they still have their elemental powers and thus their hands. That's great. Looks like there's a couple of Dragons Rising season. What's the most upcoming season? Season 4? Looks like there's a couple of Dragons. Looks like I think I'm seeing the Loyalist leader and a Loyalist fighting Cole up in the top left. Oh, that might be Lloyd as well. So maybe a Lloyd remake or not remake, but a Lloyd inclusion. There's a build on the side that looks like it has Mistake talking to the postman, and then there's Wu and a statue of what seems to be the first Spinjitzu master. However, that is not the last we're going to see of some of these characters, because there are 3 of the Legacy anniversary figures of the 4 previous Elemental Masters, and it looks like it is young Wu and young Garmadon and their father, the first Spinjitzu Master, which is nuts. Specifically nuts that we're going to get a first Spinjitzu Master and we're going to like see his face, when the show has done so much to keep that like a secret of what he might have actually looked like. The only time we've ever actually seen a version of his face, there's this version where he kind of turns his head a little bit in an episode, and we see a little like inkling of it. There's also a version from a children's book, the Spinjitzu Brothers, that I just recently picked up at a bookstore. I happened upon it, and yeah, no, that sure enough is just the first Spinjitzu Master's face, and we're just dropping it. But I kind of assumed, it's a kid's book, it's not necessarily canon, I just assumed, and you know what assuming does. So that's going to be really cool. We're going to get those 3 anniversary figures and Modern Wu. Let's see, is there anyone I'm forgetting? Oh, it looks like maybe there's a Harumi standing over by Lloyd. There's maybe a Garmadon. That would be awesome. We haven't gotten a Garmadon in quite a minute, since he hasn't shown up in Dragons Rising. Side note, when is he going to show up in Dragons Rising? Can that happen soon, please? The show doesn't feel like... Ninjago's barely Ninjago without a Garmadon in it. There we go, we've got 2 arms. More stickers that I don't have yet, but I actually did just... in between, as like my little intermission, I ordered myself some stuff off Bricklink, including the sticker sheet for this set, so that is taken care of. We'll have those soon. So there's a lot of potential with this Ninjago Old Town set. It is definitively not a city set, which is something that the rumors early on were saying as well, that it was the big set for this year was going to not be a city set. And I am of mixed thoughts about that. I love the city sets. Unfortunately, I was not able to get Ninjago City Markets, so I'm going to have to try to find that secondhand at some point, which is going to be a bear. Workshops is still available. I have not gotten that yet either, because I'm waiting for that to go on sale. So, it's not like I really needed a new city build, since I'm a little bit behind, actually. But I do like that they connected. I'm kind of bummed that this one won't connect, because then, we have to come up with new creative ways to display it. But at the same time, we get to come up with new creative ways to display it, so that'll be great. Oh, and the mock builders, of course, are going to make some incredible ways. Mock builders have created a way for even the Temple of Erjitsu to be ported over and connect to all the other city sets. So I'm sure that we'll get it. And this is cool. One of my wish list ideas that I kind of wanted as part of another Ninjago Legacy was to have some sort of... My concept I wanted to call Ninjago City Village, and it would be kind of an above and a below set. So above ground would be Jamonikai Village, and below ground would be one of the Serpentine tribes. Maybe, Acidicus's library or the Serpentine underground area from Season 3. And while we're talking about wishlist stuff, there are still some sets that clearly have not been revealed, haven't really even been leaked, I haven't been able to find anything about them. We still don't know anything about for Legacy. We know that we're getting 7 of the anniversary figures, and if we have Jay's mom, we have Hibernus, we have the previous Elemental Master of Earth, then we have Wu, Garmadon, and the first Spinjitzu Master. That's 6. So that means there's at least one more that's coming out that we don't know anything about. So, okay, so that means we're getting at least one more Legacy set at some point in the year. Great. I have some thoughts. I have a couple of wish list ideas. The first of these, like I mentioned, is the Ninjago City Village, which we're kind of getting in the old village. Great. But on top of that, there are some other really cool locations from the show that I feel like either have never gotten a version or have not gotten a version in a while. So the first one is the underground base at the monastery. I feel like we've never seen this. We've seen a bunch of different monasteries, Spinjitzus, but we've never seen that underground base that kind of got introduced in the Wild Brain era. So I'd love to see them take a crack at that, and I feel like it fits the shape of a lot of Ninjago sets with like a flat piece in the back and then two side pieces on the side. A shape that they've been using for a really long time. For example, this is a good segue, in the Samurai X Cave set that they came out with a few years ago. That kind of had a similar shape to it, and that was a really cool set. Could use an upgrade though. So that's something that I'd love to see in Legacy 2. I'd also love to see potentially, especially because it's become relevant in Dragon's Rising Season 3, I'd love to see a version of the Underworld come to life once more. We've seen the Underworld in a set in Garmadon's Dark Fortress, but that's basically it. Like, we've seen architecture show up similar to it with some of the original season or pilot episode sets, but we've never seen a full fleshed out Underworld. Even if we saw the big Ferris wheel that they create out of the tornado of creation. That'd be a great way to give us some sort of underworld build that felt grounded. It felt like a place, but wasn't necessarily some big, expansive, sprawling. Like if we're doing Old Town, sure, that might be their quota for doing a big, sprawling thing. Do the Ferris wheel. That'd be a lot of fun. You could slot it in somewhere if you have a existing display space for it. Okay. There we go. Got a little hand. Got a little hand with the little fingies. Very cute. I've got a little hand with a giant buzzsaw. Less cute, but that's pretty stinking cool. And that pops on like that. There we go. He's gonna T-pose over here to assert his dominance. Nope, never mind. No, he's not. I like how many details they do like this that have Technic just built right into it. And this doesn't go anywhere. It just provides a little bit of detailing to make everything look more mechanical and look like it actually serves a purpose, even though obviously it doesn't. Interesting that they gave him kind of a blade that comes out the side of his hand instead of a weapon that he can hold in his hand here. He just kind of has this coming out the back. Beefy. It feels like an action figure more than a Lego set. But I suppose that's what you get when you're making a Titan mech. Missing a sticker up here, but that's okay. That's a cool little use of the harpoon piece up here. Oh, interesting. I'm actually missing quite a few pieces from this. From this neck piece. Oh, and I have quite a few pieces left over here, too, as well. Ooh, interesting. I wonder if I messed up somewhere, or if I didn't get all the right pieces. No, I will absolutely have to go back and find out, but I think for now. And there we have it. I do have a whole stack here of extra pieces that I'm going to have to figure out where they went, but all in all, here he is. Zane's Titan mech is complete. He's got articulation in his legs. He's got his knees here with that really cool friction ball joint. He's got feet. He stands pretty well. He's got his arms, his hands, his spinning saw blade. I love him. And now I just gotta find a place to put him. Which, come to think of it, with all these cool new Legacy sets, I'm gonna have to find a place to put them too. Bummer, but that's okay. Getting awesome Ninjago sets to celebrate a theme that we all love, having to find a place to put them is a good problem to have. I hope that you enjoyed building with me, and I hope that you are looking forward to these Ninjago Legacy sets as much as I am. I am so looking forward to getting them as soon as they come out, and building and reviewing them, and chatting about them with you. So until then, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys on January 1st. Bye-bye.